Let's have a property tour, shall we? Bryan Lebo here, and today we've got a very interesting one for you. Now, normally we try to focus on modern homes, maybe something eclectic. This is an estate in the truest sense, over 10,000 square feet. Now, if you follow Las Vegas real estate, then you may know and recognize the name Red Arrow. This is one of the most prestigious streets in all of Las Vegas. And again, this is an estate. So I'm excited today to show you what this estate has to offer. Now, like we normally do, we're gonna start off in the kitchen. On the way there, we're gonna discuss the flooring. So the entire main floor of this property consists of oversized travertine, very beautiful and part in line with this old world feel. Now let's talk about the actual kitchen. So over here, we have two islands. So this is more of the entertaining island. So you can see we have bar stool seating for 4. We have a raised elevation for the eating and drinking. Really, really lovely. Now, if we pivot over here in this direction, this is actually the breakfast nook. It's kind of hard to call it a breakfast nook because this is literally like a dining room table, but just a beautiful, sensational feel. You have all of this expansive amount of glass looking into this backyard, which we definitely will get to later. We have French doors that lead out to the covered patio. And above us, even in the kitchen here, we have 14-foot high ceilings with coffers. We have surround sound, linear air registers, just an incredible space. Now, coming into the proper kitchen area, here we have a buffet return. So this is absolutely beautiful, but let's focus on the main island first. So over here, we have this absolutely beautiful granite. This is imported from either Brazil or India. Very exotic. And we have a double bullnose edge. So very lovely. And you can see that the island stands alone by itself. The centerpiece of the island is actually this beautiful farm style sink, but this is actually a pounded copper. So this is beautiful, beautiful by itself. Now it's that time. You know what's coming if you watch these videos. Yes, we are way over $3 million today, which means of course we have 2 dishwashers. So we did meet that criteria. Now, let's talk about the cabinetry. All the cabinetry in this home is all custom, of course. Beautiful, beautiful antiqued finish veneer, very lovely. Now over here we have our 60-inch professional grade Wolf stove, and of course we have a matching 60-inch ventilation hood, but that's been sheathed behind all of this antique cabinetry that we have here. We have a nice tumbled travertine mosaic inlay for the backsplash, just a sensational area. Now we have a second sink here, so prep sink, kosher sink, however you choose to utilize it. Then over here in this direction, we do have our built-in microwave oven. And of course, we have our refrigeration. So here we have Sub-Z twin refrigeration. On the right side, we have the refrigeration portion, and the left side, we do have the freezer function. So again, this is just an incredible kitchen. And I even love the sight line over here. You can see that when you're in the kitchen, you're still part of the family room. You're still part of the action. But let's be honest, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but this kitchen and family room is pretty much the size of most people's homes. right here. This is way over like 1,000 square feet. It's incredible. Let's come around this corner here real quick and check out the butler's area. So coming over here, we have a nice morning bar area. We do have a warming drawer below. And then of course we have our Miele espresso maker. So wonderful for your morning dose of caffeine. And then over here on the right side, well, actually you're right. This is the pantry area. So perfect location. Now let's get into the family room area and see a little bit more of what's lurking down here. So in this area, we do have a wet bar. So we do have elevated seating for 3. Once again, we do have a sink, which denotes that this is a wet bar, and we have refrigeration and more of the custom cabinetry. Here, a little bit of a darker, a richer wood look. Now, I love this. This is what you first see when you come into the property. We have this entire wall of windows. Now, currently, with more modern architecture, this would be, a 40-foot slider, but I love this aesthetic and I love this backyard. We're gonna see the backyard later, but what's amazing is even with no window treatments, you have absolute privacy from both neighbors as well as the backyard, completely private. Beautiful built-ins on both sides. Love symmetry, and you have symmetry on both sides, but come on, man. I'm 6'1", I'm not exactly short, and I can't even see the top of this fireplace. It does work. I'm starting to sweat over here, but this is an incredible Gothic fireplace. And even above, we have about an 85-inch television. That's just how massive this structure is. What's crazy is such a large space to begin with the 14-foot high ceilings and the spaciousness of it, that it actually looks appropriate in scale. Once again, we have our symmetry for our other built-in and a nice area over here. All right, now that we've seen this main living space, let's come back to where we started over here. So here was our formal entry, the travertine. We have an inlaid mosaic into the flooring. And this right here is the actual formal dining room area. So a beautiful dining room, but what I do love, especially on a day like today when it's like a nice 75 degrees or so, you do have these French doors that lead out into the front of the property. So just an amazing place to be. Now, we're gonna head down this direction, but I'm sure you're looking, we're gonna get to this in a moment. I'm sure you see there's a wine cellar. We will get to that in just a moment. But follow me down this direction. Let's see what's going on down here because we still have a few more Easter eggs. And notice the arches. We have these beautiful arches everywhere we go. Now we do have a space over here to look at, but first we're gonna check out this area because this is kind of unique. So while we just saw the family room, this is more like an entertaining space. So most likely today you would kind of make this into a designated movie theater, but this is more of the game room. So you can clearly see it's situated to be a viewing area. We do have 6.1 surround sound above us. Once again, we still have 14-foot high ceilings. Over here on the right side, we do have a proper gaming table. So if that's your jam, have the fellas over, have a nice game, you're good. Beautiful wall of glass. We have double French doors that lead out into the backyard. And then of course, if you're gonna have a poker night, you gotta have the bar set up. So over here, we have refrigeration underneath. We have an ice maker, beautiful granite surfaces with a double bullnose edge. Even over here on the back side of the bar, we have a beautiful wall of glass that leads into that backyard. And then over here, this is kind of neat. This window actually slides up and is a pass through. So let's say you were having a party and people were using the pool, you could have this bar set up as a proper bar and you could serve drinks right through that window. So really neat. All right, follow me across this hallway. Let's check out what's lurking over there. Okay, so here is a secondary bedroom, but this is quite a secondary bedroom. A lot of these spaces would be the primary suite and even a luxury home. But again, 14-foot high ceilings and we're on the first floor of the property. And this is just a secondary bedroom. So coming over here on the left side, once again, we have double French doors that lead to the front of the property. So you can get some air, maybe take a private phone call, display over here. But let's check out the bathroom. Of course, this is ensuite, but check this bathroom out. So once again, beautiful travertine floors. Over here, we have a proper bathtub. That's a jacuzzi jets, so enjoy. Over here, we have a beautiful, completely sheathed in travertine walk-in shower. And over here, we have the water closet. But this is kind of a neat little feature I really enjoy. So here we have a walk-in closet. How many secondary bedrooms have a walk-in closet like this? This is pretty large, but I love that not only can you access this closet from the bathroom, but it even loops around over here into the actual sleeping quarters. So really functional. All right, now that we've seen this area, let's go across that hallway once again, and let's see what's on the other wing of the house. Okay, now we are on the other wing of the house. I love saying wings of the house. Now, normally I would say, hey guys, this is the garage, cut to some B-roll, blah, blah, blah. This is not like a normal garage. We've featured some pretty crazy garages, but this one is very, very unique, especially in Summerlin. So without further ado, there's two ways. We could take the stairs, which I would presume most of the time you would just take the stairs, or behind me is actually an elevator. So I'm gonna take the elevator. Why don't you meet me downstairs and I'll show you this garage because it's pretty incredible. All right, guys, now welcome to the garage. Isn't this amazing? Did I just lie to you? Did I fool you? No. So yeah, this is your proper garage. So here you have a single bay, you have your 2-bay over here, and for day-to-day purposes, this is probably what you're gonna utilize, and then either take the elevator or take the staircase that's right behind you. But what's so cool about it is what's around the corner. So coming around the corner over here on the left side, this is the elevator that I took to get down here, but check this out. This is the other side of the garage. So here we have 2 bays of RV garages. So maybe for some of you in other places of the United States, this is not a big deal. And maybe even some places in Las Vegas, not a big deal. But in Summerlin, you cannot park an RV outside. Even if you had a large oversized lot and an RV gate, you can't do it. So if the RV life is for you, this is incredible to have because you can park your RV right in the garage and live inside of a country club in Summerlin. And look how massive this is. We've got about 22-foot high ceilings. And I mean, look, I'm not about the RV life. I'm still a little young for that, but I am about the hoop life. This is cool. So I would love to have this as an indoor basketball court and then still be able to utilize. You can put in a multitude of lifts. So while this is an 8-car garage, you could expand this tremendously more if you utilize lifts. All right, guys, now that we've seen the garage, let's meet me back upstairs to where we were and check out what's going on in the other wing of the house. All right, guys, this is the staircase that brings us up from the garage, so to kind of reorient you to where we were before. Now, over here on the left side, this is your powder bathroom. I know some of you guys get a little fired up. Sorry, the half bathroom. But this is your powder bathroom that your guests are going to use. Very lovely, flanked with travertine everywhere. Perfect. Now, this is interesting. We're going to go up 5 steps and check out this bedroom because it's been utilized in a different way. A lot of times we would call this more of a flex room, if you will. So in here, now we have proper hardwood flooring. You can see that this has been utilized probably in a multitude of different ways, but we do have a beautiful custom built-in with a television. We have a massive sofa, but technically this is a proper bedroom. So we do have 9-foot high ceilings in here. You can see, obviously this was utilized as a bed. And then even here en suite, we do have a full bathroom. So we have a shower, our water closet, yada, 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 really good. This is where things get a little interesting though. So over here, we have a massive closet. But within the closet, we also have another closet because in that closet houses the brains of the property. So think all of the surround sound, which was done with the home. Now this is where you would hide all of your automation. So your Savant system, your Control 4, whatever you wanted to do, it's all housed in that area. All right, let's come back down this way. Let's check out the rest of the property here. Okay, now that we're back in the hallway, this is the elevator that will take you down into the garage. And when we see more of the property, this will take you upstairs, closer to the primary suite. Now, coming forward this direction, over here, we have a beautiful laundry room. So it's what you expect, except we have beautiful bespoke double bullnose edge granite counter surface, the same cabinetry that we saw in the kitchen. Beautiful, beautiful. And by note, this is only one of 2 laundry rooms. But now let's come down this direction a little bit farther. So this is set up to be an executive office. However, this also could easily be used as a bedroom. We have the continuation of the travertine floors here. So again, feels a little bit more like a den as opposed to a bedroom, but we do have a full bathroom right here. So shower, toilet, sink, everything you would need to make this into a bedroom. And we even have a walk-in closet. Love this part. Obviously, we have custom built-ins everywhere. And then once again, we have this beautiful wall of glass with double French doors that leads us to this beautiful patio cover. So again, on a perfect day, if you want to take those conference calls outside, you can do that. All right, we have pretty much finished the entire main floor, but I know you're going, Bri, what was the deal with the wine cellar? Why'd you hype it up? It's worth hyping up. So let's go back, meet me by the front. Let's check out this wine cellar because this is something. All right, guys. Now, we've seen our fair share of wine closets, even wine cellars, if you will. This is just, there's levels to things, right? This is an entirely different level. So before we go upstairs to the second floor, let's go down into the wine cellar because it's so much more than just a wine cellar. This is more of a tasting room. So follow me along. All right, guys, welcome to the tasting room. It's a little bit more of a wine cellar, right? So obviously this was the staircase we came down. Over here behind the camera, we even have additional storage. So that's where you probably keep all the wine in boxes, etc. And there's plenty of storage options there. But I love this space. I love this. So if you are truly a fan of wine and you want to come down here and focus on the wine, you have your little tasting table, kind of makes you feel like you're in Napa in some bespoke winery. I love this vibe. We even have a little escape window for your egress in case things get a little hot down here. We do have a display in case you wanted some visual stimulation as well. And then this custom built-in is wonderful. So we do have refrigeration over here as well as refrigeration on the other side so you can separate your bottles. Guys, I thought this was just such a cool feature of this property. All right, we have seen the entire main floor. We've seen the subterranean parking garage. We've seen the tasting room. Now let's go upstairs. Let's see what's going on the second floor of the property. All right, guys, welcome to the second floor. So over here in this direction, this is a bedroom and the primary suite, but we're gonna start on this wing. I love saying wing. We're gonna start on this wing of the property. Now, over here on the left side, we're gonna finish up last here. This is an amazing outdoor balcony area, really unique, really cool. Over here on the right side, this is actually our laundry closet. So like I told you, we have 2 laundry rooms. It's more of a closet, but we do have a room. Now, as we come down this wing, we have 3 bedrooms to see. So the first bedroom over here, very large sized bedroom. We have coffered ceiling, we have ensuite bathroom, walk-in closet, and we even have French doors that lead into that balcony area that I was just telling you about. Now, coming down a little bit farther down this direction, over here we have another bedroom, very similar. So in this bedroom, again, 10-foot high ceilings, beautiful coffers, walk-in closet. We do have its own bathroom, and this one has a really beautiful Juliet balcony, so that's kind of a neat feature as well. Okay, now that we've seen those, let's come down this direction a little bit further. This right here is the elevator that you can take from the garage. So if you want, you can come straight from the garage up 2 floors, right down the hallway to the primary suite. We have this dramatic hallway with these arches. And on the right side, flanking it, we have 3 separate linen closets. Really beautiful, great craftsmanship. And at the very end, in the back of the house, we have this bedroom. So this bedroom's beautiful, tons of natural light, its own bathroom, its walk-in closet, and we even have these double French doors that lead once again onto that balcony, which we're going to see last. All right, now that we've seen this wing, meet me back by the staircase, and now let's check out that other 4th bedroom and the primary suite. All right, guys, back by the staircase. So coming down to this wing of the house, over here to the right is the primary suite, which we'll see in just a moment. Over here, we have another bedroom, but it's not quite a bedroom. So this doesn't have a bathroom. It doesn't have a closet. So therefore it's not really much of a bedroom. This actually, I think, was originally designed to be more of a fitness room, denoted by all of the mirrors encapsulating all the walls except for the walls with the windows. And once again, this beautiful Juliet balcony. Now it's time for the main event. So now let's check out this very dramatic primary suite. And I say dramatic because as you go through the double doors, look at this hallway, how dramatic. We have 3 arches to go through, which lead us to the double French doors that leads us once again onto the balcony area. Just a very dramatic and beautiful reveal that brings us to the sleeping quarters. So let's check out the sleeping quarters first. So this is a beautiful room. We do have a beautiful custom built-in perfectly across from the bed, but this is the area that I absolutely love. It's kind of like the Oval Office, and it's so beautifully set with these beautiful swivel chairs, and you have an exceptional views. So you're overlooking the fairway and Red Rock Country Club. It's so private. You have city views. It's just an incredible, incredible space to be. All right, now let's come check out the bathroom area. So segregating the sleeping quarters from the bathroom is this 2-way fireplace. And when we come into the bathroom, we do have travertine floors. We have this beautiful elongated jacuzzi bathtub in its own space with the fireplace. We have his vanity. And then when we come down here, we have a washlet toilet. And this closet is amazing because we have 2 separate entrances for essentially his and hers, but it does interconnect on the back side. And when we come down a little farther, we do have a very large, beautiful steam shower, as well as another bathroom, so her wash closet. So again, his and her wash closet. So you have a washlet for one, and then you have a toilet and a bidet for the other. And then behind me over here is her side of the bathroom, denoted because you have a makeup counter. So just an incredible space. Now that we've seen the entire second floor, all we have to do is meet me outside. Let's check out this balcony area because it's very unique and very wonderful. All right, guys, now it's time to check out this outdoor balcony area because this is so unique and really, really cool. So let's come over this direction first. So obviously we have tile flooring. This is the windows to the hallway. This was that first bedroom on the wing that we saw earlier. Now we're gonna pivot around to the other side. So coming down here, first off, we have 10-foot high ceilings. We do have surround sound, and even this cabinetry is amazing. So while we are outside, we have obviously an abundance of shade, so we don't have to worry about that kind of intrusion and penetration, but just a wonderful, wonderful space. So if it's chilly, we can utilize this fireplace. We have 3 ceiling fans, so when it's a little warmer, we can chill out. This does have a professional mister system as well. And even over here, I mean, this cabinetry is about 20 years old, most likely, unless they've redone it. And it looks absolutely in perfect condition, which is saying something considering the elements out here. And above us in the corners, each corner has electrical, so if you did want to put displays, you could have displays up in the corners over there. But this is just incredible when we come out to this space. Now, I always joke about the death spiral staircase, not my favorite. I'm a little afraid of heights, not my favorite, but this is really, really cool. So this spiral staircase leads you up to an observation deck. So while we have incredible views, the observation deck on a holiday weekend will give you just the most amazing views of the fireworks, and even on the balcony on this level. Not to mention, we do have those French doors from the primary suite that leads out to the same balcony. But over here, while we can see this beautiful backyard, again, we have complete privacy from both neighbors. We're overlooking the fairway and Red Rock Country Club. I can see Red Rock Resort, and I can even see part of the strip, although it's much more dramatic from the observation deck. All right, well, speaking about the great outdoors and views, why don't we go outside and check out this amazing pool and this amazing backyard? All right, guys, coming out of the kitchen, let's check out this incredible backyard. I mean, look at these views that you would appreciate every single day. One of the finest backyards. Now, directly above us, we have massive patio cover. Again, like inside, we have 14-foot high ceilings. We have a professional mister system, tons of light, and the orientation of this home. This is facing east, so in the afternoon, you get this beautiful shade, giving a little bit of a temperance to the backyard. Love the surface area. And again, this is so lush, so tropical. I really, really love the vibe back here. But let's start off at the pool area towards the back and work our way back towards this direction. So flanking the pool on both sides, we have these Canary Island date palms, mature, Typically these run almost $1,000 plus a linear foot in height, so we're cashing some checks just in the palm trees here. Lovely sago palms everywhere, and this is a really cool function. So if you want to feel like Hugh Hefner at the Playboy Mansion, we do have this wonderful waterfall creation. So normally when it's on, we have a waterfall that cascades down and it creates this grotto. So the jacuzzi is actually behind the waterfall in the grotto. And then we have this slide for kids or big adults, if you will. And then the pool itself is sensational. So very large. You couldn't even build this pool now with the current standards being 600 surface feet. But we do have a beautiful PebbleTech self-cleaning pool. Love the artificial stone look because it's a little bit easier to maintain. We do have speakers everywhere, so you could create this pool party ambiance. Again, more of the sago palms that are mature. And even over here, we have our Baja shelf, so you can put your chaise lounges here and just kind of relax, kind of get that Cabo resort feel. And speaking of Cabo and resort feel, check out over here. I love this. This is one of my favorite things. If you're gonna have the lagoon resort style pool, you gotta have those bar stool tops, so you can literally sit on the bar stools in the water. You know, if you're like me and don't need a tan, you can put the umbrella in these fixtures, have some shade, sipping your cocktail, pretend you're on vacation. Living here every day is like you're on vacation. So again, just wonderful. And you have complete privacy, which is hard to do typically when you're on a golf course property. Now over here on the right side, this patio cover, this was what was coming over from that executive office that we showcased when we were doing the first floor. Tons of artificial turf, so very water resistant, responsible, and easy. Deuce can go to town over here, but I love this structure. So here we have a completely separate structure, kind of like the cabana. So they've set it up with a dining table, so here you could eat al fresco, you have a little display. This would be just wonderful for a morning breakfast, maybe your dinner. Speaking of dinner, over here we have our outdoor kitchen. So we do have our barbecue grill, our sink, our refrigeration. This is a really, really wonderful, wonderful space. Just love the feel of it. Well, guys, we have seen this entire estate and it is absolutely sensational. I'm excited to hear, what are your favorite parts? Do you guys like a more proper and bespoke estate like this, like what we used to build in the early 2000s? Or do you prefer the more modern, minimal design? I know a lot of you guys think it's a cold aesthetic and you prefer this, which is why I wanted to show you something a little different today. Well, special thanks to Cameron Zan for allowing me to film this amazing listing. As always, please be sure to like this video, please subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Deuces.